Hello everyone, and welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you all the essential knowledge you need to transfer USDT between different exchanges. This is a very important skill for anyone doing funding rate arbitrage. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to transfer USDT quickly, safely, and confidently. All right, let's get started. At this stage, you should already have some initial USDT in your wallet. If you've been following along with my earlier lessons, you probably have your USDT stored in your Binance account. Now, our next step is to transfer USDT to MEXC first, and then transfer half of that amount from MEXC to Bitunix. Since we're preparing to set up a funding rate arbitrage strategy, the initial USDT balance in both exchanges should be roughly equal. I'll explain the reason for this setup in the next lesson. But for now, let's focus on how to transfer USDT safely and correctly. Let me ask you a quick question. If you wanted to transfer money to a friend in the real world using fiat currency, what information would you need? Take a few seconds and pause the video to think about it. Right, you need your friend's bank details, such as the bank name, the account number, and your friend's full name. However, in the world of cryptocurrency, things work quite differently. Crypto is part of a decentralized system, which means there's no bank account number, and no personal name tied to your transaction. Instead, everyone has their own crypto wallet, and each wallet has a unique public address. A public address is a long string of random numbers and letters, and it's completely unique, just like a digital ID for your wallet. When someone wants to send you cryptocurrency, you only need to share your public address with them. The best part is, this does not reveal any of your personal information, so your privacy is fully protected at all times. In addition, there's no central authority between you and your friend. That means there's no censorship, no bank holidays, and no delays. Your coins are transferred directly from you to your friend without needing any bank or third-party approval. That's why we called it as peer-to-peer system. And every transaction is recorded purely on the blockchain, a transparent, tamper-proof ledger that keeps a permanent record of all transfers. This is what makes cryptocurrency truly decentralized and borderless. Now, let's talk about how blockchain transparency works. Every crypto transaction that happens on-chain is public and transparent. That means anyone can see that a transaction occurred. They can view which wallet address sent it, which address received it, and how many coins are stored in each wallet at any time. But here's the key. While transactions are transparent, it's very difficult to know who actually owns those wallet addresses. That's why your privacy still remains safe, even though every transaction record is visible on the blockchain. Only the person who has the private key can access or move the coins associated with a particular public address. So remember this concept. Your public address is how people send coins to you, but your private key is what gives you ownership and control of those coins. Whoever has the private key owns the wallet. I hope this reminds you of how crypto transfers work at a fundamental level. In the next part, we'll go step by step through how to actually transfer your USDT, first from Binance to MEXC, and then from MEXC to Bitunix, so you can start setting up your funding rate arbitrage strategy. Okay, let's begin with the first step, transferring USDT from Binance to MEXC. To do that, we first need to know our public deposit address in MEXC. So please log into your MEXC account, then click on Wallet at the top right corner of the page and select Deposit. Now, you'll see three options for depositing crypto into your MEXC account. 1. The first option is on-chain deposit. This is used when you're transferring crypto from another wallet or another exchange, like Binance. 2. The second is P2P trading, which allows you to buy crypto directly from another person. And the third option is to purchase crypto using a credit card directly on the MEXC platform. For our purpose, we'll choose on-chain deposit. Once you click on on-chain deposit, MEXC will ask you which cryptocurrency you want to deposit. In our case, we're depositing USDT. After selecting USDT, you'll need to choose the network. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does network mean? Let me explain. Every cryptocurrency can exist on different blockchain networks. For example, USDT can exist on Tron, Ethereum, BNB, Smart Chain, and several others. Each network has its own unique infrastructure, fees, and speed. Think of it like a group of highways. The coin is your car, and the network is the road you drive on. If you enter the wrong highway, you'll never reach your destination. That's why it's absolutely critical to select the same network on both exchanges. If you deposit USDT on TRC20 in MEXC, you must also withdraw USDT using TRC20 from Binance. If you mix up the networks, for example, sending ERC20 USDT to a TRC20 address, the coins won't arrive, and in most cases, they'll be lost forever. So remember this golden rule. Always double check the network before you transfer any crypto. Since my USDT is currently in Binance, I usually choose BSC, which stands for BNB Smart Chain, as the network to transfer USDT. This network uses the BEP20 protocol, which was developed by Binance itself. I prefer using BEP20 because it's fast, stable, and has one of the lowest transaction fees compared to other networks like Ethereum or Tron. It's very important that the sender also uses the BEP20 network when sending coins to this MEXC deposit address. In short, both the sender and the receiver must select the same network. If you choose different networks on each side, the transaction will fail and your coins could be lost forever. Each blockchain network has its own speed and fee structure. The fee, often called the gas fee, is actually a reward paid to the network's miners. These miners verify and maintain all the transactions on the blockchain ledger. Once I select the BSC network in MEXC, the system will show me my public deposit address. You'll also notice a QR code next to it. That QR code contains the same address, and it's there for convenience, so the sender can scan it instead of manually copying and pasting. Some networks require a minimum deposit amount, but BSC BEP20 does not. So even small transfers will go through without a problem. Okay, once we've confirmed our deposit address in MEXC, we're ready to begin the transfer. Open your Binance app, and at the bottom menu, click Assets. Next, tap Send. When the pop-up menu appears, select On-Chain Withdraw. This option means that you're transferring your USDT through the blockchain network, just like driving your car along a specific highway to reach your destination. In our analogy, you must take the same highway that MEXC is using, otherwise, your coins will never arrive. Now, Binance will ask you to enter the receiver's address. Since we're on a mobile app, the easiest way is to scan the QR code shown in your MEXC deposit page. Of course, you can also copy and paste the address manually, but I personally recommend using the QR code scan. It's faster and avoids typing mistakes. For the network, you must select the same network that you used in MEXC. In this case, that's BNB Smart Chain. Please remember, if you choose the wrong network, your coins will be lost forever. And no one, not even Binance or MEXC support, can recover them. Next, you'll see the amount field. I recommend starting with a small test amount just to make sure everything works correctly before sending a large sum. For example, let's try withdrawing 10 USDT this time. After entering 10 USDT, you'll notice the system automatically shows the exact amount you'll receive. In this case, it's 9.99 USDT. Because there's a 0.01 USDT gas fee. The fee may change slightly depending on the network traffic. Sometimes it's even free, but usually it's very low. Once everything looks correct, click the withdraw button. Before you confirm, take a moment to carefully review all the details, especially the network and wallet address. Those two are the most critical fields. If everything looks right, click confirm. Now, your 10 USDT is on its way. It's being transferred from your Binance wallet to your MEXC wallet. You can click View History to track the withdrawal progress. It usually takes around 2 to 3 minutes to complete. While waiting, switch back to your MEXC app and open Wallet. After about 3 minutes, you'll see a new incoming deposit. 9.99 USDT has arrived safely. You'll also notice that it's now sitting in your spot wallet. And that's it, your first successful on-chain transfer. I think you can now feel how different this process is from a traditional bank transfer. There's no waiting time, no middleman, and the funds move directly from your wallet to another. Once you've successfully sent a small amount, try transferring larger batches, but always do it step by step to stay safe. Also, here's a quick tip. You can save your MEXC deposit address in the Binance app, just like saving a contact in your phone book. That way, you don't need to scan the QR code every time you make a transfer, and it's both faster and safer. Okay, pause this video and then try to transfer more USDT from Binance wallet to MEXC wallet. In the next section, we will do transfer MEXC to Bitunix. Welcome back. I hope by now you've transferred more USDT into your MEXC wallet. Please open your spot wallet and double check your USDT balance should appear there. Before we start transferring to Bitunix, it's important to understand that every crypto exchange actually has two types of wallets, the spot wallet and the futures wallet. In most cases, all incoming deposits, like the USDT you just received, will first sit inside your spot wallet. Also, remember that you can only withdraw coins from the spot wallet. If your funds are in the futures wallet, you'll need to move them first. So if you want to trade futures, you'll do an internal transfer from spot to futures. And when you're done trading or ready to withdraw, you'll transfer the funds back from futures to spot. This internal transfer is very easy. Just click the transfer button inside your wallet. It moves instantly with no fee. Just remember, before making any withdrawal, make sure the amount you want to withdraw is already sitting in your spot wallet, not in futures. Now, let's move on to our main task, transferring USDT from MEXC to Bitunix. Here's a quick question for you. If I want to transfer USDT from my MEXC spot wallet to Bitunix, what's the first step I need to take? Go ahead and pause this video for a few seconds and think about it. You got it. The first thing we need is the public deposit address from Bitunix. Okay, please log in to your Bitunix exchange. The steps are almost identical to MEXC. Click the wallet icon at the top right corner, then select deposit. Next, choose USDT as the currency, and then select the network you'd like to use. There is a good news. Bitunix also supports BNB Smart Chain, which means you can use the BEP20 network for your USDT transfer. Once you've selected it, your Bitunix deposit address will appear. If you're using a desktop browser, you can simply copy the public address from Bitunix and then paste it into MEXC in the withdrawal page. Now, switch back to your MEXC account. This time, click Withdraw. Select USDT, and in the address field, paste the Bitunix public address you just copied. And here's the most important part. Make sure to select the same network as Bitunix, which in our case is BSC or BEP20. Double check everything carefully, the wallet address, the network, and the gas fee before you confirm the withdrawal. If you've already set up two-factor authentication, 2FA, MEXC will prompt you to complete that verification before it processes the transaction. Once confirmed, MEXC will begin the withdrawal process. It usually takes about 3 minutes for the transfer to complete. After a short wait, log into your Bitunix account again and you should see the new deposit appear. Your USDT has successfully arrived. Congratulations! You've now transferred your coins safely between two exchanges. This skill is a key part of preparing for your funding rate arbitrage setup, and you've just mastered one of the most practical steps in crypto trading. Before we set up the funding rate arbitrage strategy in action, you'll need to evenly distribute your funds between the two crypto exchanges. For example, if your total USDT balance is 1,000 USDT, then you should transfer 500 USDT to MEXC and another 500 USDT to Bitunix. In my case, my initial balance is about 1,282 USDT. So I transferred 641 USDT to Bitunix and left 641 USDT in MEXC. In practice, it doesn't need to be perfectly even. Just a roughly 50-50 split is good enough. As long as both exchanges hold a similar amount of USDT, you'll be ready to move on and set up your funding rate arbitrage strategy smoothly. Keeping both exchanges with roughly the same amount is important. It ensures that when we open our long and short positions later, our capital is balanced and our strategy runs smoothly. Once you've completed the transfer and confirmed that both exchanges have an equal amount of USDT, you're all set. All right, take a moment to double check your balances, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next lesson, where we'll finally start setting up the funding rate arbitrage strategy in action.